Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. We're all friends and fans come together, BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. It is Sabbath Sunday. Hopefully you've been following along. I'm your host, Jason. Your other host is Tim.
Hola.
Oh, I'm mirrored. And Bill.
Hello.
And you know what you're going to get here. You're going to get some more Sabbath. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, help us out. We need all the help we can get. Today we're talking heaven and hell. Which, if you caught the previous video, we've already talked about heaven and hell a couple times. But we're going to talk about it for real now, though. So, Tim, lay it on us.
Yes, sir. New decade,
Yep.
1980. We are past the 70s. Oh, new singer. Ozzy is gone. Um, Everybody knows who replaced Ozzy. Of course, you got Ronnie James Dio, who's already a legend from Rainbow and Elf. Um,
What year was
he
Holy
comes in.
Diver?
That's after he leaves Sabbath. That's going to be 83,
Okay.
84.
Okay.
Um, Produced by Martin Birch, who's about to go on and produce a string of very successful Iron Maiden albums. Um, you start with Neon Nights. Go back and listen to that song through some headphones and imagine you're Dio in the studio and you're about to sing this song and that comes out of the speakers at you. Like, holy shit, what a song. Um, Classic stuff. Children of the Sea is the first song Tony wrote with Dio. Um, Classic, right? Like it's just it's epic in scope. It's an amazing song. Top song contender, as is Neon Nights. Followed up with Lady Evil. Um, it's silly, it's goofy, it's heavy as hell. I love it. And then you get to the title track, which I mean is pretty epic song. Um, I mean, you have to shout out "The World Is Full of Kings and Queens Who Blind Your Eyes and Steal Your Dreams." Um, and then you move to side two. You got "Wishing Well." That's like a fun, upbeat song. And then you got "Die Young," which top song contender. I love that song. It is "Gather the Wind." Though the wind won't help you fly at all, your back's to the wall. Um, yeah, play that one loud. Um, Walk Away is probably the low point of the album. It's still a fantastic song. And then Lonely is the Word closes it out, and that is just a heavy beast of a song. Um, this is the production on this album, like the guitars are just crushing, but the real magic is in the rhythm section. The drums on this album, this is one of my favorite Bill Ward albums in the entire discography. Geezer sounds amazing. Um, yeah, for the longest time, I was one of those guys. It's like, if it's not Ozzy, is it Sabbath? And then slowly I started like checking out other stuff. And when I finally got to this album, I was like, oh, oh, okay, I get it. Um, yeah, this is classic Sabbath here, and I won't say anything else without spoiling my ranking.
All right. I'm glad. Yeah, the rhythm section. Chef's kiss on the rhythm section on this
Yeah,
record.
yeah, they're just on fire on this album.
Bill, you want to go next?
Sure. Um, so precursor. So this what this is the last Black Sabbath album that I knew going into this discography. And how I found this album, so doing some research online, the three singles released from this album were Neon Nights, Lady Evil, and Die Young. The
I
song that
believe Children of the Sea was a single too, actually.
oh, six that it didn't list it just listed those three as the singles, but it's
Those
Wikipedia,
were
so
singles for sure.
yeah.
A lot of this Wikipedia. I mean, we're doing Green Day right now, and I'm like looking at the Wikipedia. I'm like, that was like "Kill the DJ" was a single, but it doesn't really
Hmm.
like time is lost on the internet. History is lost, I
I
guess.
guess my point is actually the song that got me to this album. So I was driving in my car listening to the radio, and all of a sudden I hear a singer. I'm like, oh, that's Dio singing. Okay, cool. And the song finishes in about 5 minutes. And it's all right, that was Black Sabbath with Heaven and Hell. I'm like, what the hell? What do you mean? And Heaven and Hell is actually how I found this album. And after listening to it, Heaven and Hell, by far top song contender. I think that's one of Dio's maybe not his best vocal performances, but he was stellar vocals on that. Tony
It's
Iommi
up
was
there
fucking.
for sure. Yeah.
And what annoyed me is I mentioned how it was a 5 minute long song on the radio. That's
I
because
was
they
just
cut
good.
off two. Because they cut off 2 minutes of Tony Iommi just shredding a guitar. It's like, what the hell? You robbed me of 2 minutes of Tony just being Tony. Like
Yeah.
that, God, because that, you know, I won't spoil my rankings too much, but compared to the last two albums, it felt like both Tony and Bill were having a lot more fun playing the instruments. And I think Dio helped bring a breath of fresh air also in just, breathing new life. Because we had Pissed Off Black Sabbath. Then we have Bored Out of His Mind Ozzy Osbourne after Coked Out of His Mind Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, that was the whole time.
I mean, it was a whole time, yeah. But you know what I'm getting at. Like, it's,
Well, I do, and it's interesting too because actually the pattern follows this album because Geezer actually was not involved. He quit for a short time,
For
so they
this
brought
album,
in enough for this album. So for the in the songwriting process, so he wasn't as involved, but he did come back and do the album, and the bass lines are incredible.
oh God, yeah.
But yeah,
wasn't
no, I
wasn't
mean,
Geezer a key vocal writer though? Like, didn't he write the lyrics for a lot of the early
he had
Sabbath?
yeah, for most of it, yeah.
But not this one though,
He'd written
right?
the right. Dio comes in and starts
Yeah.
writing lyrics. Yeah,
You just answered that question.
yeah,
But I mean, just let's say Aldo for me. I mean, a lot of this songwriting, maybe not songwriting, but just the sound really brought me back to some of those initial, like Black Sabbath albums, and it was like, holy shit. I mean, for me, Children of the Sea, for me, that song almost could have been on Paranoid or something. Like
sure, yeah,
it, it just belonged. I mean, most of this you could stick on. If you had stuck any of these albums on those first couple and said, "Oh, we're having a guest singer do the song," absolutely would make sense and rip. Um, I guess my low point being the song I like the least, being used very loosely here, probably be "Walk Away." That being said, I'm never gonna skip it.
right,
I'm always gonna listen to it. I'm always gonna play it.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Say this, I don't think I could say enough good things about this. I really loved where they came back with it. You know, knowing, similar to how I found Black Sabbath from solo Ozzy going back and finding Black Sabbath. I knew solo Dio career before I knew Black Sabbath Dio career. And it's like, holy shit. Like, I
Well,
didn't
and
know.
we'll get into it as we get further into these Sabbath albums with Dio. But I love Rainbow Rising. Rainbow Rising is one of Dio's shining moments as well. Um, but I'd be hard pressed to argue like the Dio stuff with Sabbath is Dio's best stuff. I think it's better than the solo stuff. I think it's better than Elf.
I haven't listened to the full Holy Diver album in a while, so
Yeah,
that
I
one I
don't
don't
Fair
know.
know.
enough. Okay. Fair enough.
I feel like that could be a whole other debate.
Yeah, that's a whole
Well,
nother.
that's a whole nother thing, sure. And, as we get into the rankings on this one, um, I do want to throw out because obviously this is the first album without Ozzy. Ozzy put out an album in 1980 called
Yes,
Blizzard
they
of
did.
Oz.
Well, that's a good segue because I'm thinking Bill and I talked about this with some production notes going to go into the call here. Maybe in the summertime we do like a streaming Saturday, or we actually stream and we do like an album wars type situation. Blizzard of Oz versus Heaven and Hell, Smash versus Dookie. Those times that we argue on this show when we're talking about records, because that's what we do. And we're like, no, fuck you, this one's better. No, fuck you, that one's better. We'll stream that shit. We'll get the community involved. Hey, what do you think's better, Heaven and Hell or Blizzard of Oz? Or what
And
do you?
I have certainly spent decades now with both albums and love them
Oh,
both.
I think it'd be an
But
interesting conversation.
I have a winner.
No, just because
I
it's
I
because
have a I have a winner
just a
too.
quick aside, because Blizzard of Oz came out this year, and
I was
plus,
I was just gonna grab my OG copy, but
I think
See, I don't have a
I think
fight in
there's
the.
some.
I don't have a fight. I don't have a dog in this fight because I don't know either one of these records. But I think I know which way I'd swing.
Say then the other thing that I was going to quickly mention. Now I'll bring that up when we get to the rankings. I'll bring that one up after.
yeah, it's so much about this album we gotta wait to rank it to actually like get
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'll go ahead and rip this fucking band-aid off.
Yep. Hated it.
Right.
Go ahead,
Fuck
go
you,
ahead and
Oscar
play
nothing.
play that meme.
Hate it.
Going
Note
in,
to the editor.
the only research I did for this was listening to you guys. I knew this was the first Dio record, and I'll get to the other part that I looked up later. But Neon Nights, the guitar riff is good, the guitar solo is good. I don't like anything else about this. It just sounds like you're going to the state fair and you're riding the Himalaya. What year did Def Leppard's On Through the Night come out? Like, that's what it
80.
sounds like.
Same year. Yeah.
Yeah. Children of the Sea.
1980 is a big year for heavy metal. First Iron Maiden album, first Def Leppard album, Ace of Spades came out in 1980.
Yeah, so far I'd take Ace of Spades over all the other ones you named. Children of the Sea. This one sounds like Sabbath. I agree with Bill. Heavy riffs, slow pounding drums. Not a fan of Ronnie's voice. Remember that line. Not a fan of Ronnie's voice. Lady Evil. I like the rhythm section. The bass and drums sound really good. That's about it. Did Geezer write these lyrics? You already answered the question. The lyrical content on this record is such a huge step down from previous Sabbath records. Lady Evil, she's magical, mystical woman. Speaking of bad lyrics, you got Heaven and Hell. Sing me a song. You're a singer. Do me a wrong. You're a bringer of evil. Again, really good sounding bass and drums. I'm glad you pointed that out because they do sound really fucking good on this record. I love the tempo change around the 4 minute, 20 second mark. Bill doing some damn good shit. if you took Dio out and you took those lyrics out, and this would be a top song if it was an instrumental. Wishing Well, same thing can be said. Not a fan of the vocals. This one feels further from that Black Sabbath sound. Kind of sounds like Neon. Hashtag not my Sabbath. Die Young, I really like the intro. Thought we were about to get some good old-fashioned Sabbath. Nope. Turns into bad 80s metal. For most of it. It does have a semi-cool instrumental section when Dio isn't ah-ah-ahing over it. It's some good shit. Walk Away, I was about to say, yeah, okay, I heard this song before. Like, this sounded really fucking familiar. I thought it was a single. This is when I looked up the album and realized it wasn't a single. So, I don't know. Bill was carrying it on the verses. The guitar solos were fire. That's the wrong fucking line. That's what I get for looking away from my notes. But looking the album up, it wasn't a single. So there is either something that came out before this song or after this song that sounds super familiar. I don't know what it is. Zeppelin, maybe? I don't know.
I'll have to go back.
Saying that, the song is good. Like the guitar, the way he does that guitar, that it sounds like something. I don't know if it's something that came after it or before it, but I do like that sound. That's a good song. Lonely is the Word. They do end it on a high note. I like the closer. It's slower. It's heavier. Bill's carrying on the verses. The guitar solo is fine. The outro's a little long. I can't say I'd take it over Swinging the Chain or dare I say Dirty Women, but it's still a decent closer. I don't like this Dio guy's voice. And I know Holy Diver, and I don't have a problem with that. But here, it just doesn't. Hashtag not my Sabbath.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I'll give you like Holy Diver. He's, I don't want to say straining a little bit more, but like
he sounds
his
like
voice
every generic 80s metal singer for the time. And that's not a sound. It's not for me. I don't like that.
Everyone was trying to
think a
sound
lot
like
of
him,
that-
though.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes from this.
Be
coming
that
out
as
and
it
everything.
may, if he spawned a bunch of other shit, I mean, great, but I don't like that sound. I don't like his
Yeah,
voice.
I remember you mentioning you didn't like that voice sound when we talked about
Like Def
a couple
Leppard,
of- yeah.
they kind of do it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't want to even say that on stream or on recording, but on Joe Elliott or Dio, I don't know at this point. I don't know.
Oh wow.
I don't
Bye
know.
bye street cred.
Right. Who's
I
got the
don't
dot
know.
on this thing?
My street cred on 80s metal. Oh no, that's been out the window since the beginning of this show. Yeah, who's got the dot? I don't know. I think I have the dot. No, Bill has the dot. Yeah, Bill has the dot.
Well, I'll take that easy dot. Well, that easy and fucking impossible dots.
Yeah. Mine might be easy to guess. I don't
even know where I'm putting this thing for sure yet. Like I have an idea. I mean, for Jason, just move it over to 9. We know it's not
you
going to
can-
go
you
any
put it
higher
there.
for him.
I'll take jazz metal over that. I'd actually go. I'd
Jazz
buy.
Sabbath.
Yeah, I could buy Never Say Die on vinyl and be happy.
See, it's okay. Tim for sure has it over Technical Ecstasy.
Oh yeah.
It's messing with me that he has the first Black Sabbath.
Right? I had that same problem last time I had to rank shit. I'm like, nah, ain't no way.
Because thing is,
It's fucking Black Sabbath on Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
I think
Switch all that around.
Tim's gonna have it. I think he's gonna have it right behind Paranoid.
I ain't moving shit until you say it's right, wrong, high, low. I ain't moving shit.
Well, I mean, here's the question, right? existential shit here. I'm going to say keep going.
Okay. You're gonna have it then right above Master of Reality, but I don't think it'll beat Bloody Sabbath for you.
You're going to be correct. And I will point out, like, I mean, what's the mantra? There's three things in this world you can trust, right? And, there's an easy answer to, like, if somebody asks you the top 5 heavy metal albums of all time, it's real easy. You just say the first 5 Black Sabbath albums, right? And I think if those albums did not exist, Sabbath unfairly sticks one of the greatest metal albums in our faces.
I mean,
It absolutely belongs among the best here.
there's a lot of things I really liked musically on the record. There's also things I didn't like that sounded like cliche 80s metal.
Yeah.
Like Neon Light just sounded like...
Well, and
That's because
that's the problem with Sabbath. Yeah.
They made it.
It's kind of like the same with the Ramones. Like, you're listening to Brain Drain. It's like, yeah, okay. I've already heard other bands do this.
Yeah, but in that case, I would say like other bands did it better. I'm not saying other bands did it better than Heaven and Hell. I'm just saying I don't like that sound. Like I don't like that 80s sound.
Tim, I'm really glad you brought back Upper Bones again. Because we are currently on the 9th Black Sabbath album, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, now I'm gonna feel bad if I get this wrong.
Are you looking for the 9th Ramones record?
Yep, and if it is what I think it is,
It's not, because you're going by year. What were the Ramones doing in 1980?
well, I'm not going for 1980. I'm
Rock and Roll High School.
say what was the 9th Ramones album? Animal Boy. What was the one that what's the one that cracked into some of our top 5s? Animal Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's why for me,
there's 2 discographies I could live the rest of my life off. Peanut butter and jelly right there.
and that's why for me, and this was a hard dilemma for me to make, because the one album has by far my favorite Black Sabbath song of all time.
That you've heard so far.
Well, that I've heard so far, correct. The other one has my number 2 and another song that's easily in my top 10 Black Sabbath favorite songs. So because it has my number 2 and another one of my top 10 favorites Black Sabbath songs up to this point, Heaven and Hell is going to go number 1 for me.
That's bold, but I can't disagree.
Like this was so when I listened to this first. I knew Ozzy's solo career, then I listened to Ozzy Black Sabbath, then I listened to some of Dio's solo career, and then I found this album.
I just don't see it. I think musically, I think Black Sabbath were doing more interesting shit on Volume 4 than they were in 1980 with Heaven and Hell. Tommy was kicking ass more on 4. And even Sabotage. Whatever.
Go listen to him shredding on Heaven and Hell. Like, it's never mind every other song on the album.
Dude, Die Young. That whole song is just such a banger.
Fucking children.
I know, right?
No,
yeah.
Fucking Gypsy Boots.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. Some people are just going to always be Ozzy or nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that.
This is what sucks. I don't even like Ozzy. I think Ozzy's overrated. But if I'm going to listen to Black Sabbath, god damn it, I want to hear fucking Ozzy singing good geezer lyrics. Like, to me, that's Black Sabbath.
Sure.
That is what you have conditioned me to, listening to all 8 of these fucking albums. And then here comes this fucking 80s. Yeah. I mean, I know he doesn't do that on this record, but like it's that same. The lyrics are just so shit. I mean, Ozzy's lyrics were they fit better. All hail Satan and whatnot. This is like
Yeah, but it's still like you can
Lady,
he'll sing, but still go
But
ahead.
Dino's
Like,
got unicorns and rainbows and dragons.
that fits though.
everywhere.
Like that fits more. Like that's when I see 80s hair metal, I think rainbows and unicorns.
Sure.
That's 80s
Sure.
hair metal. That's coming after this. Like,
Right, and I think it works better in that context.
okay, well,
This is like Green Day doing the Who and being all serious and shit. It just doesn't. It's not. When you think of Green Day, you don't think of that. You think of when you think of Black Sabbath, you don't think of fucking riding the Himalaya. You think of when you're riding the Himalaya, you're listening to fucking Pour Some Sugar on Me and Living on a Prayer like that. That's what this is going towards. It's too far for me. I take jazz metal. At least jazz metal was fucking interesting. I might pull a mulligan on that motherfucker. But
well, you'd be following suit with me then.
no, I might
Color
go. I
code
might
tell
even go.
all.
Even might even go even higher. We'll see. We'll see.
You'll put jazz. You wouldn't put jazz metal above Master Reality.
I might. I'll have to go back and listen to Master. I'll give Master Reality another shot. But
I mean, I'd say up to this point, there's no wrong rankings, unless if Tim disagrees. But like,
No, it's Sabbath. Color code will tell all.
yeah, the color
Yeah.
code will tell all on this. I finally had to switch colors though. Ooh, that's a spoiler. Yeah, you guys don't remember the recordings anyway. So as long as you don't rewatch this video, it won't be a spoiler.
But I will. I'll rewatch
Ugh.
it 500 times, just like everybody else watching this video right now.
Will you hit that thumbs up too?
312th time.
Will you hit that thumbs up? Will you hit that? Will you leave us a comment down below saying, Jason, you're fucking wrong. Heaven and hell should be number 2. You should do that.
I mean, it should be better than Never Say Die.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Let us know down below what your rankings are in case Tim gets drunk and forgets to rewatch this and doesn't leave us a comment down below. At least you can, because you will probably be sober. Or you could be drunk and angry at our rankings. Either way, leave us a comment down below. It really helps the channel out. Stick around. Mob Rules is next. We might have to take a break because I think International Noise Conspiracy is going to take next Sunday. But if it does, hold out, because the Sunday after that will definitely be Sabbath Sunday. So give us a like, give us a subscribe. As always, what, Tim?
Be safe and hail Satan. And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.